it put a sour taste in my mouth at the time. I just wanted to get back and get playing and try and make a difference. That's when it was that March window where you could
go.
You could go. So luckily enough, I came in that March window with 8 games to go, and it's weird. My first game was a Merseyside derby. Where Robbie Fowler was eating the grass, Gerard Julio said. Gerard Julio said he was eating the grass. He was doing a lot more than that, Robbie. But that was my first game, and then the second game we played Sheffield Wednesday. Got beat 2-1. With me and Franny Jeffers were starting to forge a partnership. We took the lead of Olivier Decor from 35 yards, scored a screamer. They equalised and went 3-1 up. We pulled the goal back, ended up losing that game 3-2. But there were signs of life. Signs of life in that game. Lost 2-1 to Sheffield Wednesday at home. We took the lead, combination of me and Franny. And we gave 2 goals to Benito Carboni, 2 back passes straight to him, and he scored 2 goals. We lost that 2-1, and then we hit the bottom 3. And that's when that real love affair and everything started to click for me. We played Coventry at home next game. I scored 2. We played played Charlton at home, scored 2. Played Newcastle away, scored 2, and played West Ham at home, scored a hat-trick.
Instant cult hero status, and
we stayed up on the West Ham game. That was the penultimate game because we had one last game. I think it was Southampton at the Dell, but we were so relieved that we'd stayed up. We ended up losing that game, but what a run of games we had, and it was absolutely brilliant effort from the team, brilliant for me obviously, and I just found that it became a spiritual home for me because the Evertonians needed a player. They gave me the number 9 shirt. Number 9 shirt is all powerful on the blue side of Merseyside. I wore it. I got the goals in that shirt, and we just seemed to have that bond. We just bonded, and obviously making my debut there helped because I understood what it was about. I understood what Everton are about, and if you give your lot, they respect you, and that's what I always done.
You had a fantastic career at Everton, a fantastic spell. I said it seemed that you needed that at that time in your career, that chance to show everyone again that you are the player that you've been spoken about in your early sort of career.
Yeah, definitely. Look, the game is so difficult because when you make it, you've got a target on your back. Youngsters are looking to take your place. They're still looking to bring strikers in from here and abroad at the time because the game was growing at the time. There was Bosman ruling had gone through and all that kind of thing. So we're talking about serious time. But I believe that it was a spiritual home for me, Everton. It really was, and everything seemed to click when I was there. We didn't always get the right results, and there were some tough times. We beat relegation a couple of times, but there was also some real good days there. And we just missed Europe one year when we got beat by. I sprained my ankle, and we got beat by Man United 2-1 at Goodison. They won the league at Goodison, which was a bit tough to take, and we just missed out on Europe at that time. But we were a side that were going places, and it was really important that I had that part in my career because it's one thing doing it at Arsenal, it's another thing doing it at another club like Forest, and then doing it again at Everton. It was really important for me as a player to be able to prove that I could do it wherever I went.
They hold you in such special regard, the Everton fans and the Merseyside fans. Why do you think they have that? They can relate to you so much. Why do you think that they took to you so quick?
I think if you score goals and you help them stay up, that helps. But I just think it was they needed a striker at the time, and I needed a home, and it just fit. It really did. It just fit. I fit in with the club straight away. There was no bedding in period. I played against so many of the squad that there was a respect there straight away as soon as I walked into the dressing room. Yeah. And we got down to business, and everything just seemed right. Everything did. Never spoke badly of the club, and Evertonians respect that in their players, and obviously to wear the mystical number 9 shirt that I did, it was really important for them.
4th highest goal scorer for Everton in the league as well. Must be an accolade that you're really proud of.
Yeah, I'm proud considering, I was there, 6.5 years or whatever, 6 and a bit years. So I am proud of that. I'm proud of everything I've achieved in football, especially my time at Everton. I'm really proud of that.
After scoring 9 goals in 8 games at Everton and helping the club survive before the last game of the season, they signed you on a full-time basis. Was there any other offers that came in, or was it already in your head a done deal that you would be going to Everton?
Well, I was still a Trabzon player because it was only on loan, so we had to go back out to Turkey. The chairman was saying, "I want my son back."
Really?
Yeah, he wants to be back, and I'm a Trabzon player, so.
I suppose all the players must have missed you as well.
Well, yeah, they'd seen what I'd done at Everton, and they were like, "We know we can do it. Let's get him back. All is forgiven. Let's start afresh." And the chairman wanted that, but Everton were in my blood now, so I wanted to sign for Everton. So I didn't go back at the time. I was training on my own. Then Everton delegation organised a meeting with the chairman, the Bashkan. So we went out there, went to his resort in Antalya, and had a fantastic time there. I had a one-on-one with the chairman and his bodyguards, and we're walking around the grounds, and he was, we was just saying how sad he felt that that I wanted to leave at the time. He understood it, but he was sad because he really felt we could do something with the squad.
Do you think he felt some guilt over what had happened and the way his remarks had been misconstrued?
Yeah, of course. I really do. I really do believe he felt some remorse. He didn't need to feel remorse because I know what he said because it got explained to me.
Yeah.
But he came out with it and kind of he gave them the impetus to switch it around. So if he'd said no, he's gonna do well, they would have had nothing. But obviously they spun it around on him and caused the right stir. You
mentioned obviously Danny Cadamartri and Francis Jeffers coming through as youngsters and real talents to look out for. Also, Big Duncan Ferguson. What was it like to play with Big Duncan Ferguson?
Well, Fergie wasn't there at the time. Fergie was at Newcastle, and Walter Smith. I'll never forget Walter Smith asking me and saying, I think it was the following season, we've got an opportunity to bring Big Dunk back. I'm coming to you because I want to know your thoughts. I said, I know I'm not played against Fergie. I know what he's like. I said, an asset like Fergie at this football club. I said, do it. I said, because we can't get enough good players in this football club. So he said, really? I said, yeah. I said, bring Fergie in, 100%. I said, I know he's a cult hero at Goodison as well. I said, but we're in the business of football. We're in the business of trying to win games. And the more players we get that can win games, the better.
What was he like to be around day in, day out? Was he quite a fiery character with the other players? Was he quite chilled? What was his mood like?
Fergie, Fergie came in and I didn't know what to expect because I've never really been around Fergie. Fergie was a top teammate, honestly was. He was a top guy. I got on with him famously, and I could see why he's even now, he's at the club and he's been with a few managers now, but the constant has been Fergie because he truly loves the club. He's obviously he's a big, strong, hard man, but amongst his teammates, he is the ultimate teammate. He really is. Really top guy.
You played with some great players at Everton, as we mentioned. I'd like to ask about one player in particular, a certain Mr. Wayne Rooney. Now, having been a big part of Everton and a big cult hero for them, were you aware of Wayne Rooney a lot longer before, say, for instance, the people in the street would have been, or the general public?
Yeah, I was. I was coming back from I think it was an ankle sprain, and I was playing in the reserve. We were playing Southport away, and I remember getting on the coach. Yeah, I remember getting on the coach, and we were playing Southport. It was a mixture of youth team and some reserves in the squad, and I remember seeing this kid. I thought it was one of the coach's sons. Seriously, Kevin McLeod and Leon Osman and Tony Hibbert, they were the youngsters at the time. They were there, and they was like sat with these guys. And I thought, because he was a schoolboy, he was like 14 years old at the time. And got into the dressing room and he was getting changed, and I'm thinking, we're playing Southport, he's a man. And the reserve manager, Taff, pulled me and said, Kev, this is the next big thing, this is that Wayne Rooney. So I said, is that him? He said, yeah. So I said, okay. So I said, he's playing up front with you, starting up front with you today. The training kit was baggy on him and all that kind of thing. I'm like, whoa. Well, warmed up and see him strike a few balls. And, you don't know what to expect, do you? But when the game started, it was like, wow. He was, for 14 years old, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. He knew what to do. The strength was there. Big centre halves, hardened centre halves. Balls were getting played into him. They're hitting him from behind, and he's just holding the ball up, laying it off, playing balls around the corner, 1-2s. We were 3-0 up after 60 minutes, and I'd got one, he'd got two. He set my goal up with a pass that was ridiculous. He scored two incredible goals. I got taken off at 65 minutes. They'd seen enough, I'd done enough. But I sat, normally I'd go in and shower. I sat and watched this kid at 14, because I think he moved then into midfield, and he was ridiculous in midfield as well. So don't forget, going in, I was like, wow. So I go in the next day to the training and I say, lads, I've witnessed the future. And they were like, what? I said, he's 14 years old and his name's Rooney. They were like laughing at me. Cabs, what are you talking about? I said, you're going to see. I said, I saw it with my own eyes last night. I said, I played with him. He's ridiculous. 2 years later, straight from school, he comes and joins the first team squad.
Wow.
And in training, the kids, he's ridiculous. He was ridiculous. And everybody was just like open mouth. He was that good.
Have you ever seen a kid at 14 that good?
No.
In all your years in football?
No, never.
What made him so good, Kev, in your words?
He had the gift. He had that gift. He had that gift of knowing what to do at the right time. He had man strength as a 14-year-old. That's important. He had man strength. He was strong. He was quick. He was smart on the football pitch. He was quiet. He was humble. But get him on a football pitch and he could do anything. He really could do anything. And I've never witnessed that in a 14-year-old, ever. And I was lucky enough to play with him, and lucky enough to witness. I was going to give him a mouthful. When he scored against Arsenal, I was just about to give him a mouthful because I made a run and I thought he could have slipped me in past Campbell. So I was just about to give him a mouthful, and then he bent one in the top corner. So, you beauty, one of them.
That goal really announced him as well, didn't it? To the
put him on the world. It was the world stage.
Yeah,
that put him on the world stage, and we'd seen him do that in training all the time. So for him to do it against Arsenal, scored a winner, and against England's goalie Dave Seaman at the time, as a 16-year-old, to us it wasn't a surprise, but the fans knew he was one of their own, and it was fantastic to see. It really was. He was a lovely kid, and obviously went on to do great things for Manchester United and England and stuff like that, and he's still doing it now in America.
Would you have placed a bet on him being England's record all-time goal scorer if you'd have thought about it at the time?
Not really. It's weird because he could play anywhere, and I would have thought he would have played as a number 10 role, because his vision and his passing ability
to hold the ball up.
was ridiculous, honestly. But he kind of moved to out-and-out striker. Obviously,
more of a number 9.
Yeah, he moved to a number 9, and Sir Alex Ferguson, maximised him. And you don't score that amount of goals if the manager doesn't maximise you. But he'd score goals from left, he'd score goals from right, he'd play centre midfield, he'd play the 10, he'd play striker.
Headers, all kinds of
he'd score all kinds of goals. I mean, he's got a hat-trick against Fenerbahce from Manchester United. One of the goals, was the volley, wasn't it, from 25 yards? He just had everything, honestly. He really did. And would I put a bet on? No, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to put that pressure on him. But am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised.
You had a fantastic career at Everton. You said we spoke about the people really took to you. You seem to be immerse yourself in the Merseyside culture. You really embraced the lifestyle and the people and the fans. Again, was it a hard decision when the phone rings and the agent says, "Kev, we've a new opportunity for you coming up"?
Well, no, not really. Again, it was at the time. David Moyes was manager, and we changed the system. We were playing one up top, and Marcus Bent was playing, and he bought James Beattie in. So if you're playing one up top and there's 3 strikers, one is going to miss out. And I was the odd one out. I was in my 30s, and it's within his rights. David Moyes wanted younger legs up there, so it was more of a midfield base where Tim Cahill would run in behind.
He scored a lot of goals for Everton.
He scored a lot of goals doing that, which you can't knock it. That system worked. So I found myself, in the stand quite a bit, but obviously not causing any hassle. I'm always a team player, wishing the boys well and stuff like that. But if you're getting on in years, you want to maximise the last few years of your tenure. So we West Bromwich Albion, I think, Brett had contacted them. It was a Sunday. We were training on a Sunday. I was driving home and I got a call from Brian Robson saying that because they were bottom of the league at the time. This was January. Where are you? So I said, I'm just coming down to M56. He said, right, I'm at the hotel, which is just off the motorway. Come and meet me for a coffee and let's discuss moving to West Brom, because we need somebody, we need some experience. So we met up, had a discussion for an hour, and then the next morning I was down at West Bromwich Albion signing. It happened so fast, I never got a chance to say goodbye to the Evertonians.
Is that a regret of yours?
Well, it's not a regret, because that's how quick these things happen. I never got a chance. But when I looked at the fixture list, West Brom were playing Everton at West Brom.
You can't make this stuff up.
I know, it's crazy,